Shalom and greetings from Jerusalem, Jane. I literally just came in the door after having an appointment. I want to give you a current news update because so much is going on, and I'm wearing the reading glasses because I need to use some of my notes. But as of now, 212 families here in Israel has been informed by the Israeli military that your loved one is held hostage inside the Gaza Strip. We are not just talking a headline, we are talking about human beings, flesh and blood, 9-year-old babies, children with autism, Holocaust survivors. We are talking about people who are sick, who is on medication, who was pulled away from their families, children who was pulled away from their parents, parents who was pulled away from their children. Whole families are abducted and now sitting in the Gaza Strip. 212. During Saturday afternoon, there was a break in Israel's attack on Hamas sites in the Gaza Strip. About 5-6 hours where Israel was not pounding down of those terrorists. And then all of a sudden news broke that Hamas had released 2 hostages. Out of all the hostages inside the Gaza Strip, 2 women from America, a mother and a daughter, was released, set free. We were very happy to see that 2 people came out of the Gaza Strip. We are not surprised there were Americans after Joe Biden was here and the aid they gave to Israel and everything. By the way, I want to say something. Hamas did not expect to capture so many foreign nationals. In their mind, they breached the fences to Israel. We're going to murder Jewish people. We're going to massacre Jewish people. We're going to decapitate Jewish people. We're going to mutilate and rape Jewish women. And those are the ones we're going to take into the Gaza Strip. They didn't expect to have so many foreign nationals. And now the whole world is coming against them, especially also the American government. So to please America, Joe Biden, that was just here, 2 American ladies was released. Good for them. I'm not going to start going into any speculation why it became the 2 of them, but still 212 hostages inside the Gaza Strip, and that's the number that just came out. Also 307 fallen soldiers has been murdered in the war against Hamas since October 7. While all of this is going on, the Israeli Defense Forces, Special Forces are also working very hard in Judea and Samaria. Since October 7, more than 480 terrorists affiliated with Hamas has been arrested in Judea and Samaria. Overnight tonight, 27 Hamas members was arrested. The Israeli Defense Forces actually carried out an airstrike. We haven't seen that for many years in Jenin. If you follow me, you know Janine is nothing but a terrorist nest. There are so many terrorists. Over the years, many of the terrorist attacks we have had where Jewish people have been brutally murdered has been from terrorists coming from inside Janine. I have shared so many videos of terrorists armed to the teeth in full military parades in the streets of Jenin. So the Israeli military picked up on that there was a terrorist cell hiding under a mosque in Jenin. And they were planning to carry out an imminent terror attack. As a matter of fact, a terror attack today, a wide-scale terror attack. So the Israeli Defense Forces, they went in and they took out all of these terrorists. Good job. At the same time, the Israeli Defense Forces continue to attack terror targets inside the Gaza Strip. They know exactly where they are, so they are pounding down on the Hamas terror targets. As a matter of fact, Shin Bet, the Israeli agency here in Israel, has forced a special task force, and their job is to hunt down and eliminate every single filthy terrorist who was a part of the atrocious atrocious attack on Israel on October 7. These are the best of the best, and we wish you good luck in taking out all of these terrorists. I also want to say that anti-tank missiles keeps being fired into Israel from the northern border, where they manage to shoot into Israel and Israel retaliate. And then I think, as a matter of fact, 6 terrorist squads in Lebanon has wanted to fire into Israel in the last 24 hours, but the Israeli Defense Forces caught them and they managed to eliminate them before they carried out all of these attacks. So things are very, very tense. Things are tense on the Gaza border, with rockets are still flying in. We have had code red alerts today coming from the Gaza Strip. People are running for shelter. Things are tense in the north. They are firing anti-tank missiles. And you have to remember something. Israel is facing a huge threat from Hezbollah. They have more than 150,000 missiles and rockets that is pointing towards Israel at any given moment. When the mullahs in Tehran are going to say start firing at Israel, they can start attacking us. And we are talking about long-range missiles. For that reason, 14 communities on the northern border are now also being evacuated into state-funded hostels in the north part of Israel. 14 communities are being evacuated. So we are planning and preparing for the war that we know is going to come. The defense minister, some of the generals and the leaders of the Israeli Defense Forces are all both on the Gaza border and on the northern front, and they're speaking to the soldiers who is deployed and saying the attack that came on us, you know, it's our job to defend Israel. It's our job to take out those terrorists who carried out all of these attacks. I got an invitation from the Israeli military and the Israeli press office today to go to a screening where the Israeli military has collected video footage from many of the terrorists who committed war crimes and crimes against the Jewish people, crime against humanity on October 7. You cannot imagine the atrocities. Not since the Second World War has Jewish people been gassed, mutilated, decapitated. You can't imagine. So because it's so important for the world to see, because all the pro-Palestinian Israel haters who can't tolerate the truth are saying this is not happening. So the Israeli Defense Forces actually put together a lot of the videos, raw videos of the decapitation, the mutilations of all those innocent people on October 7, and they have put it together, and they are actually going to screen that today for mainstream media here in Israel. I had to say no, thank you. I can't look at these atrocities. For such a time as this, the Jewish people are looking around the world saying, who is with us, who is standing with us? Most of us was not alive during the Second World War. It's so easy today to say never again, we remember. But the people who would have done something during the Holocaust are the people who is doing something today. And the Jewish people in Israel are looking around the world and saying they murdered us. War crimes, atrocities, mutilation, cutting babies out of the stomach, cutting the eyes out of children, cutting heads of babies. Where are you, the world? Where are you? How can you stay silent for such a time as this? So again, I want to encourage you, make pro-Israel rallies around your country, in your city. Go out with Israeli flags. Go out and demand that the people being held hostages in Gaza is going to be released right now. Put pressure on your government. Put pressure on your government and say, you know what? You know, there are people from our citizens are being held in Gaza. We need to do something. We need to stand with Israel for such a time as this. So that was the latest update from Jerusalem, Jane. Things are very, very tense. It's just a matter of time before there's going to be an operation inside Gaza, simply to eliminate every single terrorist who was part of Hamas, all the terrorists in the Gaza Strip, but at the same time they are spread out throughout Judea and Samaria. I have reported again and again and again and again about all the Jewish people who has been brutally murdered in terror attack here in Israel over the years, something you never hear about in mainstream media, something they don't talk about at all. When Israel says, you know what, they murder our people, so as a response to that, we're going to build, we're going to settle in our land. So the Israeli government approves new houses in Jewish communities in Judea and Samaria. Then you hear something. Then your failing governments, especially the European Union, the American administration, then they are coming out saying we are condemning Israel for derailing the two-state solution. They are building in occupied the West Bank. Then they are coming at Israel when Israel is saying we built when they murder our people. But you don't hear about the murder, but you hear about the condemnation, because now Israel, how dare the Jewish people built in Judea and Samaria. How dare the Jewish people, with prophecies being fulfilled, they are coming home from the north, the east, the south, the west. They're settling the land that God gave to them. How dare they, the Jews, built in Judea and Samaria. It is completely outrageous. So this country is stretched to the limits. The military, the security forces, the police, the border police, up in the north with Hezbollah, in the south into Gaza, in Judea and Samaria, with all the terrorists who is also in Judea and Samaria. For such a time as this, stand with Israel. Pray for Israel. Speak the truth. Every time you open your Bible, it's about this country. It's not about China. It's not about Venezuela or Argentina. Every time you open your Bible, it's about Israel. It's about the Holy Land. Standing with Israel is not a political issue. Standing with Israel is a biblical issue. It's a biblical mandate. If you base your commitment or your support to Israel of what the Israeli government are doing, you're failing. You're failing. It's about God's mandate. God said, this is my land. I put my name down. I gave it to an eternal covenant to the Jewish people. I believe one day we are going to meet the God above, and he's going to ask, how did you stand with my nation? God says, I will bless those that bless Israel and curse those that curse Israel. Bye.